Hi, my name's Rolf. I'm going to show you today how to change a spray sprinkler system into a drip sprinkler system. Hi, so if you're wondering, I'm not a sprinkler expert or a professional landscaper either. I'm just an IT guy, an ordinary guy wanting to do the sprinklers myself, so I thought I'd show you guys, average guys, how to do your own sprinklers. So first of all, what I have on the table here is all the parts that you need to do this. First of all, I'll show you this part. This is a spray to drip conversion kit. Now I didn't get this at Home Depot, I got this at the local sprinkler place. I'll just briefly show you in here. This is to reduce the pressure of your spray system into the pressure that a drip system can handle. So it's basically a lower pressure. So if I open this up, you have this canister and you have two parts. The idea is you put the tubing at the bottom, and at the top you can either have a choice of having two tubings going, one on each end, or you just have the one coming out. Also, you need, of course, this is called half-inch tubing. You need as much as you need for your changeover. This one is called quarter-inch tubing, and you'll connect it onto this one here, and I'll show you that later on. Some of the tools you'll need, a knife, or I find these pruners are very helpful to cut these. It's very easy to cut with that, or using a knife. This tool, or this one, is used to cut or to puncture a hole into the tubing, so you'll need to either use this tool here to puncture, or this one here. If you can see, there's a little puncture hole there to puncture a hole in there. You need some, this is called seal tape or plumber's tape. We'll show you that one later on. And then you need to have, these are helpful to have, just some pegs to peg this tubing down in different places. And you have a variety of emitters or sprayers to put at the end. So the idea is either in the tubing you put some drippers, or you'll use this tubing here into here and the dripper will come out, and I'll show you that in a minute. So these drippers you can get from either Home Depot or your local sprinkler shop. Some of the ideas you have is these are just simple drippers. They do they have a number on them that's like 2 GPH, which means 2 gallons per hour, and you can get different ratings like 4 or 6 or whatever. These, they have the hole in here, so basically you put your 1/4 inch tubing into here, and then it will spray through the top there. So there's lots of different varieties. I'll show you some of them later on, which ones that you can choose, whatever suits your application. Another part you need is this one here called an end closure. This is basically to end off your tubing. So the idea is when you've finished your line, you put this end tubing on like so. Like so. I'll make it really easy. And then you just bend it, and you feed it back into itself to end it like that, and that's how you end off your dripping. The other thing you need is these things. They're called, this one's called a barb connector, little tiny tool like this. The idea with this one here is if you want to connect your 1/2 inch to your 1/4 inch, you need a barb connector. If you want to split it into two, there's also the barb T, which basically has like a 3 connection thing. So now we're ready to go and take out our spray system and put in our drip one. So we're going to do that now. So in this case we have just a normal spray sprinkler. I want to change that, so take this one here out, put in a drip system that goes all along these plants here that can feed them, so the spray doesn't go everywhere on the path over there. So first step is I'm going to get just a little shovel and get get rid of the soil all around here so we can take this thing off. So we'll do that. So now what you can do is just twist. Not sure if you can see that, but you can just twist this off now, which I'll do. Alright. So we're looking closer at this part here. You'll see this, there's some white stuff around this pipe, and that is used to seal that. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to attach some new stuff on later on. Okay, so the next step is we want to grab this. This is the conversion kit where it converts the spray system into a drip one. And the idea is we're going to put this on here like that. And one thing I found though is that sometimes the seal between this thread and this thread isn't enough to keep the water from not dripping out. So what I like to do, I always like to do things properly. So to do this properly, we're going to use some of the sealing tape and put it around this thread here, so it'll have a nice tight seal. And one thing important about this is you make sure you go the right way. The right way, if you think about it, when you screw it on, you're going to go to the right. You're going to make sure that the thread ends up going so it doesn't unthread when you screw it on. So we want it going that way. I'm going to try to not make it clumped up, spread out like that. A few turns around, not too much. Then you can just pull it off like that, and then once we've done that, we're going to put our, make sure there's no dirt in there, so just give a bit of a tap, and then I'm just going to screw that on. That should prevent any leaks from coming up from there. Okay, reasonably tight, not over tight, but just nice and tight. Alright, I might not put the dirt back now so I can check it to see when I turn it on that there's no leaks in there. But what I will do is the next part, we're going to connect up the top piece up here. So to do that, we want to grab this piece. In this case I want to have a tube going this way and this way. So I'm going to put this on here. I found this one here, I don't really need that white threading, so I can connect it up like that. And then what I want to do is connect this hose onto here like that. Now one of the tricks that I've learned is an easy way to connect it up there is we're going to dip that in hot water first. So here I have just a cup of hot water, and I'm just going to put that in there for about 30 seconds or so. Okay, that's been in there for about 30 seconds. I'm just going to take it out and then put it in here. It should be a bit easier to do that. Ooh. See, that's a nice connection through there, and then I can lay that through there. Okay, so now we've connected the 1/2-inch pipe onto this connector here. I'm going to run down this pipe in my flower bed and get ready for the next step. So now we're going to put the end closure on the end here. So we're just going to slide it through here, bend it over, and feed it back through, and it'll just stop it from going. Now the other part is, it'd be nice to actually put some pegs in there, so I'll put some pegs in there so it just stays in the place that I want. So I'm just going to peg that there, and a couple other places, and now we're ready to actually put our drippers in there. Now we're going to add the emitter through here, the dripper. So the idea is using this tool here, or this tool here, to punch a hole. So my little plant here, I'm going to punch a hole just on the side here, like that. And now I'm ready to either, in this case I'll put my dripper in, like that, to push it through there, or what I could also do if I wanted to add some more 1/4-inch pipe to put to another plant further away, I could put something like this in here, push that through there, and then I could put the 1/4-inch pipe on this side and this side if I wanted to. In this case I just want to have my dripper, so I'll just push that through there, and it clicks in like that, and then that will drip through there. here's Bethany, my lovely assistant. She's going to help me show you what happens when I turn the sprinkler on. So I'm going to go down and turn the sprinkler on, and she's going to show if there's any leaks and the final product. So here you go, Beth.
Hey Dad, it's leaking there a little bit.
Yeah, it's leaking a little bit at the top there. I could tighten up a little bit more if I want. It might stop, but such a little leak, I think I'll just leave that there. So I'm just going to cover that back over. That little leak I'm not going to worry about. But let's see how the rest of the job is going. So we have one little emitter there. I'm going to just move it so it's this way. Let's look at the other ones. Yeah, that one's where I want it. Another one there, and there and there. So that's looking like the way I want it. So what I'm going to show you now is what different types of emitters and sprays we have that you can choose from. So we'll do that now. So this is the mist spray that we have here, where, check it out, you have this spike in the tube, and at the end there, it's almost like a 180 degrees. You can get 360, 90, 180. I have a 180 here that I'll put in there. There's that type. There's another type which I'll show you next. This is another type of sprinkler you could use. It's more of a bubbler. Looks like that close up. The idea is you put the 1/4-inch pipe in there. This end here you would just take off and connect to the actual 1/4-inch pipe and the 1/2-inch pipe. So an example of that is down here. If you look down here, you can see this is what it looks like. It's a good one for you. I've got a small radius like this. I've got a couple of plants. I'll lift it up here. You can see it's spraying there, and I've connected it to the 1/2-inch pipe there. So there's a few choices. You've got the emitters, you've got the bubblers like that, and the mist like before. So many opportunities for you to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a bit about how to change over a spray system into a drip system. And thank you.
Bye!
Thank you, Bethany, for helping out.